All right. So good morning again for the third time, you all. We do have a couple of updates for you. So just to get started, there have been a couple of questions about when the wave is going to be rolling over to the school year 2021. The wave will officially be starting our rollover to the next school year starting on July 16th. So the wave will be offline from the 16th through the 30th. If we happen to get completed with our rollover early, we'll definitely let you know. But right now, tentatively, those are the dates that we're looking to be offline so we can implement some new changes for the next school year. And we'll definitely give you guys more detail with that as the rollover gets a little closer. But just to give you guys a kind of idea of what I'm talking about, we will be implementing new validations for next school year. So hopefully some of these reports that you're doing get a little bit easier since it will be clearer on what pieces of information we're needing to be corrected. We'll be implementing some business rules into our validations. So for example, if you have a student that may be enrolling on a weekend and we're getting that information, we'll just give you a heads up, it might be correct, to say, hey, we're noticing that you have this enrollment that is occurring on a weekend. You want to double check that. If it's okay, then you can just ignore this. Otherwise, it'll continue to stay there. And just different things like that. So again, hopefully, as you're completing these reports throughout the year, they get a little bit easier since the information is going to be correct once that report opens. So speaking of validations, we do have some wave trainings somewhat planned for the next couple of months. We'll be giving out guidance to these new validations, just some things that might be useful for you all to know about in the wave, as well as doing report trainings as well, as there will be some changes to some of the reports that you all are familiar with. Again, just to make it easier for you guys, nothing too major when it comes to the report changes. But again, we'll get more into detail with that as they get a little closer. We'll make sure that you guys have all of the relevant information going forward. So that is what I have for the wave updates. So for the ASR, the student level ASR, as of this morning, about an hour ago, we had about 26 districts that have not certified. Now, some of you may have already reached out to our office or to the state aid office or have been reached out to by your RAO. Please keep continuing to reach out to any of us, state aid, your RAOs, whomever. We all talk to each other. If you are having issues with your report, we're trying to get this 100% certified, and we will continue to work with you for as long as it takes. So please continue to reach out to us if you are still having outstanding issues. The deadline is still going to be June 30th as of this morning. If it happens to change for some reason, we will again let you know as soon as we know. For outstanding issues with the ASR, some districts have reached out that are doing or have enrollments coming from, say, an unaccredited site or a site that they use for tracking. We are in the middle of testing, or we will be in the middle of testing that later on today. So for those of you who are on the call and have reached out to us about your unaccredited students who should be appearing under a different site, say you have a enrollment coming from a high school, but the student actually, for funding purposes, belongs to the middle school. We will be making those changes and testing it throughout the day today, and we should be able to get those out later on this week. For any other outstanding issues that we aren't already aware of, I know for some districts they're having issues with their vendor created reports. Please do continue to reach out to your RAO, letting them know what's going on. If for some reason your RAO needs to reach out to state aid or to our office, they will definitely do so. We're in constant communication with each other with this report. So again, if you're still having issues and you're not really seeing any movement, please reach out to one of our offices and we will try and get you squared away. Our office is still teleworking right now, so if you are calling and leaving voicemails, we are asking that you please give us just a little bit of detail about what you're calling about. There have been many calls where we've gotten, you're working on a report, but we don't know exactly which report you are working on. And sometimes it's not our office, so we need to, get your voicemails to the right folks. So please leave, a detailed description of what's going on, as well as if it's easy for us to get back to you, if we can't, call you back in a timely fashion, and it's quicker for us to just shoot you a quick email. Leaving your email address is also going to help us be able to respond to you a little bit quicker. Just our office has a lot going on right now, so we want to make sure that we're getting back to you, in a timely manner. So that is that with the ASR. The last report that our office is helping out with is the Title I Part A report. So just as a reminder for you all schools should have a Title I status, whether that's not applicable, targeted, or school-wide. You want to make sure that one of those three statuses are applied for each of your schools. If you're not sure which Title I status your school should have, please get with your federal programs person if that's not you. There is a Title I status that is granted to each school, and that status is given to you by our federal programs office. And those statuses live in our grants management system. So just take a look at that, make sure that what's in your student information system does match up with your Title I status. If your school is a targeted school, the students must have a Title I status bullet point. It's very important. Only the students that have a yes Title I status, if you are a targeted school, will be counted. Otherwise, if you're a school-wide school, all students that are enrolled in your school will be counted. We are taking a unduplicated student count to get the counts that are showing up on that report. If you still have some questions about which students are being included in the report, we do have a report made in my data in the wave, and you can review the Title I either school status or student status by district or school. Just to note though, with the My Data report in the wave, this is not a unduplicated count. So if you do have students that might have unenrolled and re-enrolled in the same site throughout the year, they will only be counted once. So right now, as of about an hour ago, we had a mismatch of about 100 sites between what's in our grants management system and what's being sent to the wave. So if you are one of those districts that are still having some mismatches between your vendor created report and what's displaying in single sign-on right now, please just take a look at that, make sure that those two statuses are matching, as if it's not, that's probably a problem. If your Title I status in your student information system matches with what's in grants management, please reach out and we'll see what's going on. But the questions that we've gotten so far are related to there was a mismatch between what was being sent in the student information system and what was in grants management. So that is our update for the Title I Part A report. So again, I'm going to plug our Teams collaboration channel again. We do have a Teams channel to collaborate with districts. Right now, our office and state aid are kind of moderating that Teams environment. You can use it to, and ask any question that you might have with, a report that's open, or just, any general question that you think might be useful for not just your district, but for multiple districts to see. We've gotten some really good, questions in there so far, and it's been working very well with the districts that have joined our team. There is a link to join on the WAVE homepage. You'll just need to fill out your name and email address, and we'll get you added to that team free. pretty shortly. If you are still waiting to get into the team, just give us some time to get you added. And so with that, those are the updates for today's call. So if you do have questions, again, our email address is on your screen. And feel free to call us if you need to. We are getting those voicemails and we can respond to them. But again, if you would please just leave some detail about what you're calling about. And it is preferable that you all are also leaving your email addresses, just in case if we do, need to call you back and we're not getting, a hold of you, we can also just email you that way as well. So we can get back to you as quickly as we can. So I will go ahead and stop the recording and open it up for questions and